Good day everyone and welcome back to the Journeyman series. I am Odin Whitehair and, well, as you can see, we're in a different country. Let's jump into it straight after the intro. Welcome back everybody and welcome back to episode 7 of the Journeyman series. And we've migrated again. We are in a new country and at a new club. Now, in the previous episode, as I've said in this, every 3 seasons I resign from whatever club I'm at, regardless of the success or failures that I'm having, and go job hunting at the end of that. So for the first 3 seasons, it was Dynamo Zagreb. Very successful time, plenty of trophies there, built up my manager reputation. Then moved on to Saint Etienne for another 3 seasons, which again, pretty successful. Managed to stabilise the club as a European club and won 1 trophy, which was the French Cup, but also got to the final of the Europa League, only getting beaten in the final by another French team, more disappointingly. But, as I said, at the end of that, resign, go onto the job market. Now, this presented a little bit more of an issue than I actually expected, because on my manager profile I'd won a various amount of trophies. My reputation was 4-star reputation, so I really wasn't expecting to have too much difficulty finding a job. I was wrong. I was very wrong. A few big high profile jobs came up, the Liverpool job, the Real Madrid job, a couple of other reasonable sized European teams as well, which I can't remember off the top of my head. In fact, actually saying that, let's have a look at the job centre. Is there anybody? No, most of them are filled up now. So yeah, basically I applied for all those jobs. I actually got interviewed for a lot of those jobs, which was great. And in the end, like the Real Madrid one, that got took by Klopp, which left the Liverpool job open. I got interviewed for that, but I ended up getting taken by Gerrard, which left the Monaco position open, but I can't go back to France because I've already done France. So I had to leave that. So it was a case of, do I go for a couple of German teams which were available in the Bundesliga 2, which I didn't really want to do. I feel like my manager profile now, I should be in the top leagues of each country. So it left Italy, and Italy, there was Lazio, Atalanta, and Genoa. And Genoa was actually the only one that came in for us, so here we are. Which, in itself, I do like a challenge, but boy, is Genoa a challenge. It's a difficult one. More to do, again, with the financial side of things. So, if we have a quick look at it, financially wise, overall balance is not looking good. Debts and loans, they're in a bit of debt. About 30 million of it left, which isn't good, which again doesn't give me that much of a transfer budget either. So I've come in, speaking of transfers, I've come in, I've signed, so I don't think I actually started, hang on, sorry, just let me have a quick look at the profile, job history. Does it actually say the date that I started? Or let's have a look at the manager timeline. Genoa, 1st of August. So I only had a month to try and get in some players that I needed to get in. It was a bit of wheeling and dealing. So I've a look at the transfers again. So basically, if I put that into date order, every transfer from them was not me. The rest of them were me. And again, free transfer, loan signings, and a very cheap signing day. It's all I had at the end of the day, because they'd already spent the vast majority of their season budget on Kerber and Robertoni. So I had to sell a few more players as well, I believe. I forget them in... Let's get these in date order. So everybody from there up is what I had to sell. So if I look at that, 2.5 million for Retgui. One of my old goalkeepers from Dinamo Zagreb, Nevestic, has gone. Lindelof is another one who I had to get rid of because he was just old. Drongelen, another one who had to go. So, it took a bit of wheeling and dealing. But anyway, we'll get into the transfers of who I did bring in. So I got Tidiane Toure. I needed a right back. In fact, Genoa didn't have any fullbacks or any decent fullback / wing backs. And this guy's only half decent, but he's all I could get. Then I went raiding my former club. I mean, who doesn't at the end of the day? For Jara, Carroll, and Jakub, Patrizkat. 3 young players, all 3 on loan. 3 starters, as far as I'm concerned. We'll go straight to the side. Lewis Kumas, former Liverpool player, who went on to Wolves, and I signed him on loan. Danny Rodriguez, who is a winger / I'll show you the tactics in a second, who could play pretty much all across the midfield, but I thought, yeah, decent signing. He could do a job for us. Buonanotte, again, I thought, absolute bargain. Got him for a couple of million from Brighton because he'd hardly been playing. So good all-round winger. But this one really surprised me. Now, I remember, obviously, in real life, Gabri Veiga, he went to Al Ali in Saudi Arabia, much to the surprise of everybody, because he was being touted to go to Chelsea, he was, Liverpool, Man City, Man United. He was being touted to go. He's a big talent in real life. And I managed to pick him up for a free from Saudi Arabia. I thought, you know what, as a free transfer, I can't knock it. He comes in as a star player, one of our highest earners, but it took a little bit of negotiating to get him in, but I managed to get him in. I think it was like the second time of asking. But he played a lot of games in Saudi Arabia, by this point. He's considered a little bit injury prone, but even still, as a free transfer, I thought it was worth the risk. So that's the transfers that I brought in. Have a quick look at the tactic. Bog standard gegenpress 4-3-3, which if I do the best 11, shows up something like this. We'll see how it does. A little bit surprised. I think I might actually secure Gabri Veiga into the centre midfield instead of Kone. I'm not entirely sure. I haven't quite decided on that one yet. But even still, it's a decent squad. It should do reasonably well, he says. Because if we look at the fixtures, started off not too bad. Okay, admittedly, I only played 2 games of the season because the Serie A season starts a little bit later. But a 1-0 win away from home at Parma and a 3-2 win at home to Verona. I thought it was pretty decent. Friendly results, not too bad. So built up a decent little bit of confidence in the squad, hopefully. So yeah, let's jump right into it. I'll run the simulation and we'll see how we get on by the end of the season. I'll see you in a few seconds. And welcome back. And what's happened here? You could probably take 2 guesses what actually happened halfway through the season. Yeah, I got the sack from Genoa, so that meant I had to go back to job hunting and trying to find a different position. Yeah, so anyway, let's have a quick look at my manager timeline as to what actually happened. So yeah, went to Genoa, signed 1st of August. I lasted all the way to the 29th of October and got the sack. Yeah. So when I was running a simulation, obviously if you guys don't know, when you're running a simulation, when you get the sack, everything just goes blank and it goes to like sort of a default screen as it's still simulating that season. And I noticed it actually quite quickly. So I was like, oh. So say to stop me missing out on near enough 2/3 of a season, I paused the simulation, or I stopped it, and decided, okay, fair enough, I've been sacked by Genoa, let's go and find another club. And I did. Literally within 2 weeks, I was snapped up by Crystal Palace and hired by them on the 14th of November. So, yeah, Genoa didn't work out, which, to be honest, I'm not surprised, because actually, saying that, if I have a look at Genoa and look at their schedule for when we left it, so we left it there, it went into the international break, and I got sacked in the October there, hadn't won a game, which I think if you're a manager, regardless of whether it's real life or on here, you're going to get the sack if you haven't won a game in the space of 2 months and only picking up 3 points. It's not good. It's not good at all. Whether that was down to my fault or whether I didn't have a decent enough assistant manager to cover it, because I did actually hire Sadio Mane as assistant manager, which, to be fair, I want to have a quick look at that. He's still there as assistant manager, so I'm quite a little bit surprised at that, but there you go. So yeah, there we go. Quite amusing, to say the least. But I did win Manager of the Month at Crystal Palace, and Crystal Palace has actually gone a lot better. So when I first came into the club, let's have a look at the league table. So yeah, finished 9th by the end of the season, again with a poor run at the end, which, no win in 5 at the end of the season. That is 9 points, 11. That's 13 points dropped for the final 5 games of the season, which would have put me on, what, 79, 82. Would have had me within a couple of points of the automatic promotion, but it definitely would have got me in the playoff zones. So that's a little bit disappointing. So, but a lot better return on what the Genoa save was, because this, is it saying next season? Yeah. So they want us to reach the playoffs, but when I first came in, they wanted us to avoid relegation. More than beat that. And I don't know where they got their money from, but Palace are rich. They've got some decent finances, good balance. When I came in, and I'll show you the transfers that I did. When I came in, I had like a transfer budget of like 80 to 90 million for a championship club. I was like, okay. And it's not surprising they were struggling, because the squad was awful. But yeah, wage budget of nearly 1.5 million, which I'm not even getting close to. This is a transfer budget I've got at the moment. I don't think it's cycled over just yet. But I'll show you the transfers that I did. Get these in date order, because yeah, it hasn't ticked over yet. So the January, obviously I couldn't do any in August because I wasn't at the club, but the January ones were these. In fact, actually, no, sorry, it was from there. So I just realised that was the 1st of September. So yeah, so in no particular order, I wanted to get a little bit more firepower in first. So I went for this guy. He was almost an RM, but he decided to come. Sky Vink, got him from Feyenoord, where he'd only played 1 game. I thought, you know what, give him a run out. He's got some decent qualities, and he's not done too bad. Then again, I wanted to strengthen the defence again, which I got this regen Irish centre back in from Burnley. Very good. Very pleased with that purchase, and I got him for 850k, and he's worth 13 million, 13 million now, so that's a bit of a bargain, really. Jude Bellingham's brother, Joe Bellingham, actually went to Chelsea in this game. Didn't play an awful lot, Played for Borough, Bristol City. Not really fulfilled his potential. I didn't lock him in on this because I wanted to see what they'd do. But he didn't play that much, so I want to try and lock him in for the following season if I can. Another one that I brought in, another regen centre-back from Bournemouth this time, who are still in the Premier League. But to get him in, I was very happy indeed. He's now worth between 26 and 34 million, and I brought him in for 18. That's another bonus. Another regen, obviously, because we're getting to that point now. It's 2029. There's going to be a lot of regens in this. Thomas Horsburgh, 21-year-old utility midfielder, can play anywhere. Again, didn't do too bad. I really needed a decent right back or right wing back, because I'll show you the tactic in a second that I played for this season just done. I got this guy, another regen, Swedish right back from Southampton, hardly played, but at 18 years old, I was looking at his attributes and I was like, yeah, I'm going to get him in. And the fact that I got him in for 16 million, he's worth double that now. I was very happy. And then finally, another regen, Steve Jones, attacking centre midfielder. Again, another one who can really build on things from there. I will show you the tactic, which it wasn't. Hang on. I'll show you the schedule. So say I go, when did I take over? Let's see. So yeah, I took over at this point here. That was my first game. MK Dons lost 2-1. I'll show you the formation if I can. Where do we go for the formation? Okay. Can't show the formation. Basically, it was a 5-3-2. I went a couple of strikers, a couple of midfielders, and just basically tried to shore up the defence. So yeah, you can see on here actually 3 centre backs, 2 wing backs, a DM, 2 centre midfielders, and 2 strikers. Just basically to stop leaking so many goals. Didn't really it didn't help with the fact that I had a player sent off, and then a minute later they scored. So I was a little bit annoyed at that. But then after that, it went really, really well. I didn't actually start. I played the season through to the end of the January transfer window before I simulated the rest. And just a little bit of honesty for FYI. Which, again, results-wise, December, absolutely blinding December, it really stabilised the club and set it up until, obviously, the final 5 games of the season. So, but if I show you the squad-wise, not looking too bad. Goals-wise, Moamba's not even at the club. Goals is a big problem. Even though we have got quite a lot of strikers here. We've got 5 strikers here, but they're hardly scoring. Linden, I sent out on loan. Fraser Sharp is a very talented Scottish striker, regen on here. I don't understand this thing. Why strikers constantly have to have poor work rate and poor teamwork. It's annoying, and it's going to let him down in his progression, I think, in this game. But we'll see. So yeah, goals wise, didn't really get a lot. Sharp got 11, 10 goals from Mabue, 8 goals from Baumgartner, and then the rest is just, yeah, it's not good enough. And assists wise, nowhere near good enough. So got our work cut out for the second season, but all in all, stabilised the club, made sure that they stayed in the championship, and also qualified or close to the playoffs where they should be anyway. They should be up in the playoff zones, if not winning this league and getting back into the Premier League. So it left me with a little bit of a conundrum. Now, because I do 3 seasons at a time, 3 full seasons at a time with each club, like I did with Zagreb and St Etienne, this one's a little bit different because I wasn't expecting to get sacked at January. I knew it was going to be tough in the first season, but I wasn't expecting it. So what I was hoping for was obviously 3 full seasons with Genoa. Now, because I got sacked near enough halfway through my first season with Genoa, I'm now stuck with, what do I do? Do I just do 2.5 seasons at Palace, or do I do 3 full seasons? And it ends up being 3.5 seasons in total with Palace, which I'm edging more onto that side of things. And I think once that is done, that'll be the end of the Journeyman series, and I'll see where I am at there, because by that point FN24 will hopefully be near enough out, or the beta will be out, and I can start producing videos on that. So yeah, I'll do 3.5 seasons with Palace, see where we're at, and then we'll finish it off there. But thank you very much, guys, for watching. Please do the usual, leave a like, share and subscribe to the channel. Subscriptions are free at the end of the day, so it'd be very much appreciated you can do that, and keep supporting my channel so I can start producing more videos for FM24 content and other games for when they come out. I've got a few ideas going around of other games that I want to be doing, so we'll see where we can go from there. But as I say, thank you very much for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next video. Thank you and goodbye.